From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on 10 between the New York Jets and the New Orleans Saints. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
At the 29-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll run with Hall. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
They're on the 17-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. This defense for the Jets, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver? Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Throwing is Lewis. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roll down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Now it's Hines. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down. The Saints at 7-2 here on the year. And they come in off a loss last time out, but they're still in the midst of a good stretch here, CD. Winners of 7 of their last 9.
And last week they took one on the chin, but to me, this is a pretty resilient bunch. So I don't think they'll dwell too much on that loss. And they'll be looking to come out in this one and make amends right now.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
They'll run on first down. Dodson, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now Lewis. That's complete to his tight end Freiermuth. Touchdown, Saints. His first career touchdown pass, and it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
Extra point by Nevis is up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Jets.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys field it that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum down.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll keep it on the ground. Dodson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Lewis. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 27-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him the first down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Jets 14, Saints 7.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing out right here, caught by a lot of them. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well. So now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic. But downfield, in open space, that's dangerous as well because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory.
Well, we've seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one, and this guy would certainly fit that bill as that was one heck of a run there.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6.
All again on second down.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing is Wilson. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And that's a tough one for the defense because the coverage was good downfield. He was forced to work his way out of the pocket to his right, spotted his man on the sideline, and got it to him to pick up the first down on third down.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
On third down, Wilson. This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Rigoberto Sanchez set to kick off.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it. And if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Here's Lewis to throw on second down.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now Lewis looking to throw on second down.
That one taken in by T. Higgins.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and given the first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Lewis.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long. And this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal. Because just a few plays ago, it looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Out now, Andrew Mevis for the field goal.
On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And he missed it. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Now Wilson. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an
under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Play action. It's Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Now it's Wilson. Touchdown! Deontay Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Now for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
Jets 24, Saints 7.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Lewis on 1st down.
Complete to Olave on the out route.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Looking to throw. Lewis. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again.
He completes it to Olave.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked by Kevin Byard.
And the Jets will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
Alontae Taylor up to make the tackle.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can...
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Quinnen Williams in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And the Jets will take over.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground. Hall. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
113 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Come on, set.
They go play action with Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he's got this down to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans, rolling along here in the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Back to the ground with Hall.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the 16, Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. To throw is Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
4th down.
Now the Jets will call on a field goal unit here. This a 33-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
Rigoberto Sanchez set to kick off.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Lewis. He rifles one that's intercepted.
picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 41.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for it. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On the counter, it's Hall. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Here's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Four yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. Ball again on 2nd down.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets extend their lead, and they are about to get to a 9-2 record.
Extra point right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
34, Saints 7. Rigoberto Sanchez set to kick off.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This will be their 3rd.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
And the Jets are going to take possession. The football.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Straight ahead is Hall.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Breece Hall
with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year.
And the Jets are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we...
And that's caught inside the 35. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. John Franklin Myers in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Well, he's going to go for it all. And it'll be intercepted.
Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. But with this advantage, this defense knew the passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He has a man. It's complete to Wilson.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but That lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Here's Wilson to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. And they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
For one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Play action. Now Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
Wilson to Wilson there. Zach to Garrett for a Jet first down.
Here's Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
Hall ought to give up the middle.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now the Jets will call on the field goal unit here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. They do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Corral is intercepted again. That's number 3. picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Jets will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Wilson wants to throw it. Looking left side, and it's complete. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 53 yards.
Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles. But defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all. Haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked by Jeff Okudah.
And some room to maneuver.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense can very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Out of his hands quickly to Higgins.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st down. Here's Corral with it.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And nearly another interception. Well, it would have been his 3rd of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Play action, Corral.
He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked by Jeff Okudah. And the Jets are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll give to Hall. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Jets, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.